All right. Welcome back to the Whiteboard Game Podcast. This is episode number 2 of season 3.
Ooh.
Exciting. New episodes. We hope you watched episode 1. We went through our categories of last year. It's a nice game where we can just sort of reflect on last year, the music we've listened to, remind ourselves of some of the things we liked.
Yeah. Some of the things we didn't like. That's
very true. Yeah. Today it's going to be a bit different. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll just briefly discuss a little bit about ourselves and how the band's going. So, how are you doing, Fred? You doing good? I am joined by Fred, by the way.
He always is. Yeah, I'm good. The last episode, at this point, the last one that we've published was a favourite albums game.
That is very true, yes.
And I re-listened to some of this yesterday. And at the beginning of that, we were both very conscious of, let's not ramble too much, let's move on. And then we actually started talking about music a good 14 minutes into the thing.
Yeah.
So this time I'm going to try really hard. So, since the last recording, we would have spoken about Theatreship in the last one, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to talk about it again, other than you can now actually watch that on YouTube. If you weren't there, you can go watch that. Please do. We've released a single. You can listen to that. It's called Adult Blue Light. It's pretty good. Speaking of that single, you think, oh, what are they releasing a single for? Just for fun? Well, just for fun. But at the same time, there might be a project oncoming.
Be on the lookout.
That you should be on the lookout for. There's a lot of very good stuff happening, if I dare say so myself. Anything else to mention? We've had some shows. We went back to the Spice of Life with our very good friend at Substance Gigs, Sean. Very lovely man. We will be going back there again in not too long a time. April?
I think so, yeah.
April. We've got 2 gigs in April next to each other. On the 17th, on the 11th, pardon me, we are at Dash the Henge, which is a record shop in Camberwell. Unticketed. You can just show up. Please do. And then we're the following day, the 12th of April, we're at the Spice of Life in Soho. So that is ticketed, but still show up anyway. It'd be lovely to have you.
It would be good if you showed up if you did buy a ticket.
I think Spice of Life, that would be preferable, I think.
You bought a ticket and didn't show up. That's a bit of a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, there was you had a very lovely lady on the door last time, Sean, and the number of times I saw her stand up and sit down when people just walked straight past her, ignoring her, and she sort of immediately springs up and goes, whoa, no, I don't want to be horrible, but you can't come in here unless you buy a ticket. Is there anything
respect.
else? Yeah, no, she was very good. Anything else to say? Winter Olympics have been on. Curling's a great sport, isn't it? I've convinced myself that I am going to become the greatest curler of all time now, by the way. I will find a way to play curling, and I will be the best of all time. I will bring gold to Great Britain.
I feel like it's an aura farming sport.
Absolutely it is. And so you don't need, these are clearly very fit people, but you don't need to be the best sprinter or anything. You just, you just throw a stone and sweep the floor a bit, which is a complete simplification and reduction of how skilled you need to be to do well in it. But anyway, I do have nothing else to say, I think. How are you doing, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to the new gigs, working on the new music that we got coming up.
Absolutely are.
We're trying to get it out as soon as possible in a way that doesn't sound rushed.
Oh yeah,
we're taking our time, making sure it's as good as we need. Well, we need it to be.
We do need it to be good. Yes.
And we're looking forward to sharing it with you all. We're very excited with what's happening with it all.
It's different to the LP, isn't it?
It is, certainly.
It is different.
It's a bit of a left turn.
The greatest in music history?
Well, we'll see what people say. Don't count it out. But anyways, this is, as I say, episode 2. And in episode 2, I think in the last 2 seasons we spoke about love, because it was recording this in February. It would have been around Valentine's Day.
Yes.
This time, we're not going to do that. We're going to spare you of that. We're going to instead talk about the last series we spoke about song intros. This time we're going to talk about song outros.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah, it's cool when you have an idea and there's a complete inverse that you can do that works as well.
Yeah, gives you another episode.
Really
we may
handy.
well do the exact middle point of songs at some point as well. Who knows?
That's sort of just a normal game at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for mine, these can sort of be the specific outro point, or it can be a section of the whole outro that you just want to use.
I agree.
Which I think is probably what we've both done. So we'll get into it. I'll just clarify the rules quickly. We we give each other extracts of music, and we have to guess who wrote it, the name of the song. It can be a piece of music as well, a song. I suppose the inherent definition would be to have lyrics to it. Some of them aren't necessarily songs in that sense, but you'd have to guess a title. You would have to guess the genre and the year that it is, with a bit of leniency. And there is sometimes a fifth category. There's not going to be one today.
No.
It's just not intuitive to have one, really, is it?
Is this an outro or not? It is an outro. Yes. That's another point.
Easy points. So we don't give away easy points here. So, you ready?
I'm absolutely ready, yes.
Awesome. So I guess first.
You do guess first.
Because those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
Them's
the breaks, kid.
Remind myself of the extract. Your first one was a classical one.
It was a classical one.
I enjoyed it. Nice piano piece.
It was a lovely piano piece.
I did struggle to assess, in my mind, who this sounded most like. What hard with instrumental stuff. I felt the most recognisable aspect of anyone's sound whatsoever is their voice. So when it's a classical thing, it's going to be a bit harder. I'd like to think my guess is good, though. I've guessed Maurice Ravel, mainly from a point of it felt too late to be specifically romantic and late romantic, and it felt too early to be more modernist. I feel like Ravel fits in that sort of area. At the same time, it felt a bit cheeky as well. It felt a little bit cheeky. And I associate cheekiness more with Ravel than someone like Debussy, for example. I felt like Debussy always took himself and his music a bit seriously.
I think that's probably fair. Yeah,
that's a very long-winded and essay-like way of saying I've guessed Maurice Ravel.
But valid. There's a discussion point there for you listening. Was Debussy an arrogant prat? That you can think about that at home.
I just said piano sonata. I played it safe. All I heard was piano.
It's a logical guess. It is a logical guess.
More likely to get me points than if I just make up a random title, you know. I went late romantic classical. I didn't put him in Maurice's. I don't know him on a first name basis. Maurice Ravel, is often more so associated with Impressionism, but I put late romantic classical. 1982 was when I guessed it might have come out. Late 1800s, early 1900s. I will now drop my answer in the chat.
You did say 1982 as a slip of the tongue.
Sorry, 1892.
And I was waiting for you because I thought I'm sure he meant 18. I'm sure he
doesn't
did.
think that Ravel is like a super recent composer or anything.
Is this late romantic? Or is it just Impressionism?
Yes.
Is it just Impressionism?
I think my fingers manifesting. I mean, I did say Impressionism.
You didn't write it.
I'll write it in your mind.
No, you won't. Hang on, right. Let me explain everything as I do what I've done before, which is I consult the internet to see if Chris deserves a point or not.
The internet don't tell you nothing about classical subgenres.
I know, but we can try.
Let me tell you. Late romantic.
Look, I think the issue here for you is that this is a piece of music I'm so incredibly familiar with. And so I'm quite confident that it is Impressionism. But
are they really that different?
They're different words.
A little bit, it's like the difference between alt rock and indie rock,
Would you argue this point as staunchly if it wasn't for points.
No. But I would probably make the same point regardless. I just wouldn't, I just wouldn't be backing myself as much.
Right. So whilst I'm looking this up, I'll tell you all the other bits of information. I'm afraid this is Debussy, not Ravel. I'll put my answer in. You can see what it is. I'll give you points at the end. Oh, well. So this is from Dr. Gradus ad Parnassum, which is the opening piece from Children's Corner. 1908 is when the collection was published. I've put Impressionism, as I've said. What does... You're right, the internet stinks. Why can't it just give me something? Right, I'm going to give myself me talking about the answer to figure out what I feel.
Leave me in suspense.
Like when I had the intro game and there were just some extracts, I was like, I have to include them. I don't care if Chris gets any points or anything. It's just, for me, these are like the best intros I've ever heard kind of thing. What did I have? I had... Firth of Fifth is the one I remember mostly, including that piano work from Tony Banks, the Genesis track. Categorically fantastic. That was the other one, Easier by Grizzly Bear. Two fantastic intros. For me, this might be my favourite outro of all time, I'm not sure.
Cool.
I think just that rippling figure with that left hand melody underneath it, I think is gorgeous. There used to be, I don't know what channel it was, one of these channels that had uploaded a version with sheet music. And I don't know if it was Crossley's version or Bavuzé's version. I don't know much about individual pianists. I just remember the ones I like, the recordings I like. No, that sounded wrong. As in, the videos I like, and then I remember who they've written in the title, this is who's playing it. So I just remember that. Okay. But I think that one's been taken down now. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't think, it's probably not an issue with the music. It's probably an issue with the sheet music being up. It's probably an issue with the actual recording, the company maybe not liking that being used on YouTube. I don't know. But this is a different pianist, and I don't necessarily like this version as much. I think the attack on some of the notes is a bit too harsh. When you listen to the same bit of piano music or the same bit of oboe music enough times, you can tell the difference.
You can, yeah.
And when you can play it as well, and you build your own preferences, So, but I've spoken about Children's Corner so much. I adore this suite. It's unfortunate that Suite Bergamesque has Claire de Lune in it for the sake of Children's Corner, because Claire de Lune is probably my favourite piece of music, if not classical music, which sounds like a sort of normie take, but I've listened to a lot. It's still number one. Sometimes things are popular for a good reason, right? So, but Children's Corner is gorgeous. I think only this and the Smile Sessions have captured what it feels like to be a child. Truly, for me. There's such liberty and fun, and as you say, cheekiness at times. And Debussy is able to do it without sacrificing too much of his skill in it. He doesn't make easy piano pieces. He just makes piano pieces that, however he does it, feel like childhood. So I recommend the suite so strongly, but the way this piece ends in particular, I think is stunning. It's stunning. It just shimmers. It's beautiful.
Well said.
And to play, it's just so fun because it's just the same sort of right hand arpeggio, and then your left hand is just holding down these notes. It's really fun. I love this one. I have done a Music of the Week on this. Look it up. It up. I'm going to start you off with half a point, Chris.
Oh, setting the precedent early.
I am not feeling harsh enough, but I'm also not feeling generous enough.
I think that's quite a fair compromise.
Thank you.
Really bad start from me, though. It's not a hard one to guess, I think.
I suppose it's not from the perspective of me, and I am a Debussy simp.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do like Ravel, and I don't blame you for putting it. My final discussion point on this, actually, that I've got to say is I think Ravel is the most handsome composer. I still hold that opinion. You might remember me saying that back in the A-level days.
I think we both agreed with that, yeah.
Because I think he ages well, Ravel. I think when he's sort of middle-aged onwards in his pictures, he looks so classy. And I like that.
He does look classy. Classy guy.
Classy guy. Speaking of handsomeness, Cocteau twins. Am I right? You thought I was saying something about you know what?
No, I know the answer, so I knew where it was going to say the audience maybe not.
That was the point.
Oh.
Come on. So I believe your first one is Cocteau twins. And this didn't sound like something off of my favourite album by them, which is Treasure.
Ooh.
I know.
Wrong.
That half point can go. I haven't said my answer yet. That half point can go. But it's off their equally notable and also very good album. For some people, I think more people, their best work. Heaven or Las Vegas. I tried to remember. I know the album, but not as well as Treasure. I tried to remember the tracks off of it. I think Cherry Coloured Funk is one. So I put that one because it's definitely not the title track and it's definitely not Pitch the Baby, which are the two I remember the most.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I remember this one being there and enjoying it. So I've put that one. I said 1990. I think that fits into their years.
Yeah.
And Dream Pop.
Yeah. Good answer to start with. 3 points.
Thank you very much.
You guessed the first track on the album. Cherry Coloured Funk's the first track. This is the last track on the album, which is called Frou-Frou Foxes in Midsummer Fires. I remember this.
You've chosen the hardest title out of the album to put down, though. Very good.
There was certainly a reason behind that, I'm sure. You got everything else right. Cocteau Twins, Dream Pop, 1990. Why are you called twins if there's three of you? What's going on there? A bit weird.
Cocteau triplets. Actually, that does roll off the tongue quite nicely as well.
It does, yeah.
So.
I think it's wrong for me to say that this is my preferred Cocteau Twins album when I've only listened to two, being a band who have had a good amount of acclaim throughout their career. I can't really sit here and in good conscience say that I think this is their best. It's the best one I've heard.
What is the other one you've done?
I've listened to the one that's got what's his name? Is his name Harold Bell?
Yes.
Of Moon.
Yeah, something about
Moon
and Moon is in there somewhere. Yeah.
The Moon and the Melodies.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
I think it's called The Moon and the Melodies. Yeah. And I listened to it mainly because I liked Sea Swallow Me.
Yes.
Is that the name?
Is it Deep Sea Swallow Me? Or
I think it's just Sea Swallow.
Okay.
Clearly a Cocteau Twins fan when he can't remember any of the titles.
No, this is what the whiteboard game does to you. You think you know what you like, and then, I mean, heaven forbid you say that you're telepath pilled, and then someone, gives you something and you go, this is definitely not telepathy, heaven forbid.
But I do think it's a great album. It's a very lovey album. It feels very love-filled. Good time to use it in February, I feel.
It is a cherry-coloured album, I would say.
It is. It's very warm. Great production. I don't know if Robin Guthrie did the production as well as a lot of the instrumentation. I don't know, but it's great either way. Very fond of it. Yeah, in terms of this outro, again, it's the outro for the album, so I feel like outros of songs that are outros of albums, they have to have some sort of at least aspect that's going to make you want to play it again.
Yes.
Get to that point again. And it's, I think for this, it's more so just it's catchy. I think it's, it's fascinating when you listen closely because you realise that Robin Guthrie's work on guitar is very, not syncopated, it's very just straight.
Yeah.
Just very but he's got loads of effects on it, so he doesn't really need to be very syncopated at the time. There's a lot of tracks. At the same time, there's a lot of tracks where he's very syncopated. On this one, he's just very straight. Maybe because it's a slower song, you don't need that. But it's within Elizabeth Fraser's vocals that you get that syncopation and the catchiness. And they're a great blend, a really good, they remind me a lot of Morrissey and Johnny Marr, just a great combination.
Yeah.
Of musicians. So I have a lot of fondness for it. I've done myself a disservice in not listening to more Cocteau Twins and the album of theirs that you like the most.
Oh, Treasure's
as well.
So special, man.
So I need to do that at some point. There's just too much. We live in an age where there's too much music.
Less music,
People
please.
need to stop making it.
Yes,
stop
too
making
much.
music. Except us, we can still make it.
Yeah, we're allowed because we're good. But all of you people that aren't as good, please stop.
My mum told me she likes a new single. That means we're good.
And if I know Chris's mum, she is objective. She is objective in her opinions.
So that's what we think. That is the answer. I don't have more to say.
Very good. Thank you very much. My experience of listening to Treasure, the reason why I like it so much is because I went into Cocteau Twins thinking dream pop, dream pop, dream pop. And then you play Treasure and then you go, oh, so no one told me they were the best, sort of the most eerie gothic rock band in the world at one point.
That's because their dream pop stuff is so good, man.
No, it absolutely is. But then you listen to that and you go, oh, I mean, it kind of makes sense how they got to the dream pop from this. I can see it. But no one told me they had this really eerie period, and it's really effective. It's spooky. I like it.
It is, yeah. On to the second one. Half of it. Really couldn't gauge who this was by. So my guess isn't great. To be fair, I think my guess for quite a lot of these isn't really great.
My guesses are progressively worse the longer this going goes on.
For myself, really, but we'll see. It's your classic indie rock stuff. So there's going to be another one where he says, "Oh, actually, the fans of this band are so cultish that you are just saying indie rock is going to be so."
My current facial expression
silly.
is not one of offence. It's of you could logic this out. You could mix classic indie rock with Fred's taste, and you might be able to get a quite good answer here. But we'll see.
Okay, well, I've guessed someone I wouldn't associate with your taste. So
okay.
I guessed some current comers, Fontaine's DC.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was listening to it so much that I thought I just don't know who it is.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've noticed this in editing. I do this thing where I do say the name of. I sort of think, oh, it could be this band, and it always is, which is very amusing.
Okay, well, so you had to say it could be
Spoon, and I'll keep my answer because I'm nothing if not consistent. I guess it was called My Heart. Indie Rock 2022. Kill Me, I think, is the way I'm going to end that guess.
It might not be a top 10 White Ball Game moment. It might be top 15, maybe.
Not for me, it isn't.
So it's Spoon. It's Spoon. It's Spoon. It's called Do You.
The point hole on this guess is abhorrent. It stinks.
Released in 2014 off their album They Want My Soul.
Oh, brother.
This guy stinks. I put Indie-tronica. I'm going to give you a whole point for indie.
I'm very happy you've decided to do that.
No, because whilst you haven't written it down, I do appreciate the skill required to be able to still look at it and go, it could be this. And I know that you haven't fluked that because, as you've said yourself, you do that very often. So I know it's not a fluke of you just guessing an artist. I love Spoon. Man, I love Spoon. Potentially the most consistent band I know is how I put them.
Okay.
Just nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. It's all very much the same level, but sometimes they take a few more risks, hit the nail on the head a bit closer, and then you get Ga 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 Ga, or They Want My Soul, or Transference, guys. Lock in Transference. What an album. Do You is one of my favourite songs by them.
Okay.
Like, categorically. It's really good. When was I listening? When was I listening to this mostly? I think around the start of 2023 was my prime first time listening to Spoon stuff. And the first few months of 2023, I was just constantly unwell. Nothing ever major, but I always had either one illness or another. And for like 3 months straight, I just had stomach pains. And they stopped, don't know why, but they went away. You know, I've had doctor's appointments since, and no one's ever noticed anything. So I presume I'm fine. But I think back to this song, and I distinctly remember that period of being. I got so frustrated because I was just I never felt right, and it really started to bother me. And I also associate it with the fact that we were redoing our bathroom, and so I associate it with what I remember the old bathroom to look like versus the bathroom now, and how all showers were taken unprotected in the bath instead of the shower cubicle, so inevitably water did go everywhere every single time. Doesn't matter who used it. And I just kept forgetting to charge my Bluetooth speaker, and so music whilst showering was just pumping through my phone speaker, which was also an experience. I associate that song really vividly with that time. Lovely song. Britt Daniels' voice, stunning. The use of electronics on the track, brilliant. Really fond of this song. Give it a listen. Just try Spoon. I actually don't think there's any way you could be disappointed because it's just all quite good. 1 point.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah,
I've realised in both of my first guesses I've said the actual artist within my guess.
You have.
So
hat trick?
We'll see. I'm more confident with my next one, but we'll get there.
We will get there. First, let me have a stab at your second one. When we were listening to this, I described it as being the most Archie Shuttler extract you've ever given me. Archie Shuttler is a good friend, a video twin.
Absolutely.
He was a collaborating artist at our last curated gig at the Theatre Ship. He was outstanding. Incredibly unique sound. Sort of quirky, bit chaotic in the best way. From instrumentation to lyrics. And there's always a lot of important truth in his lyrics as well.
Yeah.
So he treads the line really, really well. I thought this was They Might Be Giants because I'm associating them with that quirky sound. I tried to think of what they might call it. There are a lot of la's going on. I said the la 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 song instead of the yeah 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 song.
Yeah.
I said 1988 in geek rock.
Nice. Not a good guess from you. 3 points.
Oh, thank you.
It is They Might Be Giants. You know, I'm kind of surprised that, I mean, he's never told us that he's been inspired by them, but I would have thought that he would be because the vibe is certainly there. It's called Purple Toupee instead. I mean, he said the word toupee.
He did say toupee, yeah.
They say it a lot more in the chorus, but
of course,
not the chorus game. It's the outros game. Rate Your Music said power pop, so I also put geek rock.
Power pop, I don't mind. Yeah,
just loud and pop.
that's power pop. Yeah,
1988. So you got it bang on. This is when Lincoln came out. This is off of Lincoln. What I would say is my favourite They Might Be Giants album.
Wrong. No, I don't know enough to make that comment.
Have you listened to any They Might Be Giants album?
No, not yet.
That's it. I mean, it's the first one I listened to. I feel like it's a bit like what you were saying with Spoon. It's, in my opinion, it's their most consistent.
Yep.
I mean, I've been talking about They Might Be Giants since like day one of the Whiteboard game. So
we can make a big highlight reel of you talking about They Might Be Giants.
So I'm not going to go deep on them themselves, but I will say that for a lot of the I feel like my extracts are sort of like half and half in terms of half of them are songs from albums I really like that I really like the outro of that I've gone through and sort of said which ones are the outros I like the most. And then a lot of other ones are just stuff I've heard recently that I liked the outro of when I have recalled listening to it. And this obviously falls in the former category. I want to say the song Purple Toupee is sort of to do with it's very to do with like democracy, and governments, and the idea of the toupee being like the I guess like an outward persona, like some sort of like to dress something up.
Okay, got you.
Boris Johnson's wiggly hair, same with Donald Trump.
Two of the individuals who shall not be named. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a bit like that. I think they have a lot of, most of their lyrics, whilst a lot of the time goofy and amusing and whimsical. I think they write very poignantly, oftentimes politically. I think there's a lyric in this where John Linnell says, it's my favourite lyric in the song, he says, "I remember the book depository where they crowned the king of Cuba." Oh, that was a very poignant line for any of you who know much about the JFK assassination. That will be a poignant one for you, I feel. And in terms of the outro, it's just a bit chaotic. I think a few songs I use where the outro is quite chaotic.
You have got a few here.
And it's nice. It's a nice release of energy. Song.
Thank you very much. Thank you for my points. Yeah, I think we could have a lengthy They Might Be Giants highlight reel from you. I do remember one of our They Might Be Giants video, whiteboard game videos on YouTube doing quite well because it was a They Might Be Giants moment. And the comment section just started quoting different songs.
Yeah, that was really
different
fun.
Lyrics, and it just kept pushing the video, which was nice.
We hit the sweet spot.
Yeah, you did. You found the niche market.
I feel like we did that with our most recent water skit as well.
I think we might
Surprisingly,
have done.
quite a few people got that.
Look, I mean, 2 people on it basically made the same ball knowledge joke, and I was like, well, I never thought there would be 12-year-olds who listen to the Beach Boys, but there they are. So
that's not an awfully different sense of humour to ours, no?
No, probably not. I would use the phrase ball knowledge.
I absolutely have as well. Yeah. Okay, your number 3. I'm leaning very heavily on a guess here.
Okay.
Because it's a song that I remember playing and going, I don't know this inherent section very well.
Sure.
But I feel like if it is what I'm guessing, I feel like it's a good guess. The sound of the instrumentation was very Peter Gabriel-y.
Fine.
He had a massive song in 1985 called Sledgehammer.
It was huge. Yeah.
And the instrumentation, the feel of it's a bit swung. I mean, I must have listened to the whole of this song a good few times, so I should know it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is what the outro sounds like. So I'm trying to say pop rock 1985 because I know it's off of his album So That You Really Like.
So is an unbelievable album. This is not out of cruelty; it's out of scientific experiment. If you had to guess any other artist or band that this could be, just to see if the hat trick happens.
Don't, because I know exactly who I'm going to say, and I know that you're going to say that it is them.
Who?
The Stranglers.
That is unbelievable, Chris. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I actually can't explain that at all. That is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
If anything, you're going to break me at the start of this year.
Look. In time, you will come back to listen to this episode and you will see it as an objective, important event in whiteboard game history. Now it will hurt, and I'm sorry.
A turning point.
I'm sorry. I do think the Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer guess is really good. Okay. I think it's a really logical answer because the outro is very brass heavy.
Okay.
And it is also a very good outro. It's like a 5 to 7 minute song or whatever it is. So there's a lot there. Really good outro. Peter Gabriel knows how to structure things very well. We're not talking about Peter Gabriel, we're talking about Stranglers. It's still 2 points.
It's better.
I'm going to give you the pop rock genre point, and absolutely. This is the Stranglers. It's called Big in America. It was released in 1986 off their album Dreamtime. And I've put New Wave because it's that time period as well. This is when they've hit the pop. They've kind of abandoned the punk sound at this point, much to some early fans' disappointment. But, I mean, they were hitting the charts, man, so they probably weren't complaining. I thought it would be fun if I took one of the songs I used in the intro game and used it in the outro game. That's why I've chosen this. Because I also know this has a very good outro as well. And you can tell it's 80s because the way the drums sound and just the way that synth sound, that snare sounds. We used to have a video a tape of Stranglers music videos. We used to have it with lots of different musicians, and when I was being indoctrinated from a young age to love music and have an addiction as I grew up, which Dad did successfully achieve, one of the ways he did it was having all these different videos of different bands with their music videos and things. And there was a Stranglers one, and this was one of the fun ones because it's all very larger than life and it's hand drawn and stuff. And you've got massive American people and they're like Uncle Sam drawn to huge proportions, and it's proper red, white, and blue everywhere kind of thing. Is good. I don't know if this is the Stranglers equivalent of Supertramp's big Breakfast in America, because both. It sounds to me like both those songs are romanticizing making it in the US kind of thing. And I think it was tongue-in-cheek for Supertramp because they wanted to break the American market, and then they did. And so I don't know as much about Stranglers in that regard, even though I know more about their music, which is odd. But anyway, 2 points. I'm very sorry I had to do that to you, but it was for science. Fun. I'm sorry.
It made for a funny moment.
As I say, given time, you will see it as just that. I believe.
I see it for that a good amount as well. It's just, there's always going to be an amount of emotion that goes.
You did, for, those of you who aren't here because the medium of podcast is not good for visual imagery. Of course, there is no other kind of imagery. But he was, Chris, for a good 30 seconds, just distress. Just distress. The glasses came off. The head was in their hands. It was... as a friend, it wasn't nice to see. But, I still think as the game goes on, I'm probably going to embarrass myself more than you. My guesses get much worse.
I'm sure I can process it.
I think you will.
It's not trauma I have to bring up to a therapist, I'm sure.
Don't you worry, Chris.
Unless it keeps happening.
There's plenty more trauma where that came from. Such is life. For your number 3, I thought this could be a good few different people. I think I originally had Nujabes put down, but then it went weird at the end. It went weirder. Yeah. And I thought, Nujabes doesn't really do weird. He just stays in the hook kind of thing, and he really does well when he does that. So I went for someone who might take some more risks, and I said, it was the Dilla Man. I said, it's the title of his most popular work, I would say, Donuts. I just went Donuts.
Yumma yumma.
I said 1995. I said instrumental hip hop. I can't remember the last time Dilla featured on one of these games, but
it's been a while.
I would say categorically you know more about him than I do, so I'll leave my speech there.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like we're having a very conversed game.
Oh,
don't know if that's the...
Yeah, converse works, yeah. Do you mean different? Is that what you're talking? Yeah, converse works, yeah.
A very opposite game. It is J Dilla, yeah.
Oh.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's a song of his called Mash, but it is off of Donuts.
Which is much later.
But Donuts did come out in 2006. Yeah. It came out just after he passed away, because I think he was making it and finished it, but passed away before it was released, I think was how it worked. It was instrumental hip hop, so you can have a jolly 2 points.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, again, it was just another one of an album that I really like, that I was going through outros and stuff. And I wasn't really sure, because I wanted to include some hip-hop ones on here.
Yeah.
But I was also sort of thinking, there's quite a lot of hip-hop that I listen to where either I'll have played it to you before and you'll know it, I don't really want to do that. Or it will be hip-hop where it's just a beat the whole way through. And it's the same beat, and it's nice, of course, because it's a catchy beat.
Yeah,
I'm liking it. I'm not fussed that it's repeating.
No,
but in terms of outros, what does that do?
Yes,
you got to have something different going on, something interesting, like maybe Rhymes Like Dimes by MF Doom, where you have a DJ Cucumber Slice just riffing over the beat. You don't in this one, as you say. I wanted to use it because the outro is very odd.
Yes.
And very...
It's strange, you might say.
Very ambitious, yeah. For someone like J Dilla to do. Who wasn't he wasn't inherently mainstream, but I feel like for quite a lot of the music that he made, for not just for himself but for other people, a lot of neo soul stuff, Erykah Badu. I don't feel like a lot of it was inherently playing around with very strange sounds. As you say, the sound of the actual outro is strange because he says it sure is strange.
Yeah.
It's obviously a sample. I don't know what he does to it to make it sound like that. Maybe that's just how the sample sounds. And he's just found just a very odd piece of avant-garde music from like the 70s or something. Very cool though. And I do find that the musicians, the producers who are more ambitious in this sort of way, show more ambition, are the ones who I am more inspired by, because they're more willing to take risks.
Absolutely.
And they don't care if it doesn't work, if people don't like it. They see artistic merit in it, and they're willing to push the envelope. I need to re-listen to Donuts. Do you know, I think it's an album where I've listened to all the songs, but just never listened to it in order. Oh, because it's an instrumental hip-hop one, so it works to just do it in any sort of order, I suppose. But there's some absolutely top quality songs on there. Time, Donut of the Heart.
Donut of the Heart, yes.
What a tune. But I'll leave it there.
I mean, look, he is regarded so highly, Dilla. The legacy he left behind. I think it's one of those where, I mean, you could say it about so many musicians, but the things that could have been had he been around a bit longer, unfortunately. So he is a sad loss, but he's left behind some pretty good stuff. So.
Absolutely, yeah, and his legacy and influence as well.
That's the word, influence.
Has stayed, I suppose, and it keeps going too. It's brilliant. Number 4. Another listen. I like this one. This was cool.
Cool. I'm glad you liked it.
It was a nice soundscape in my ears.
Yes.
Quite, I haven't put dream pop, but it's quite dream poppy.
That's fair. Yeah.
But again, just one that I was a bit like, I don't know who to guess.
Yeah.
When hearing the vocals, I initially thought it was a little bit emo-y, so I thought of maybe some of the emo bands that you liked that might go in this sort of direction. And most of the conventional ones I just didn't put, so I went to someone who I feel like is maybe associated with them, but I've more so put just because I know that you're fond of them, and I can imagine them doing something like this to where you're like, yeah, this is sick. I guess Milena Cole.
Yeah, great answer.
I said it was called Night Sky. I feel like he said Night Sky at some point in the extract. Maybe that's true. Art rock / chamber folk. Art rock because it was expanded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instrumentation.
Art rock is fair.
And that was a bit folky, so I put chamber folk as well. I feel like they're quite disparate genres in a way. And in 2018, a fairly random year.
I'm not going to get you to do the thing again. I'm not going to get you to do that because I think this one is just a bit harder.
Yeah.
I think it may well be an artist you've heard of. It's not out there, but I think it's an artist that has it's like a cult following band kind of thing. And it's one that I considered trying to put into the 2025 recap game.
Okay.
But I didn't find space. So we're doing it now. This is Your Arms Are My Cocoon. Recognise it?
I don't actually.
Oh,
no.
fair enough. Okay.
I haven't heard of them.
Again, not huge, just sort of big cult following. It's called Let's Get Married. It's the same sentence that is said 3 or 4 times, and you get those massive sort of synth chords coming in. Released in 2024. I want to say the album's called Death of a Rabbit, I think.
Interesting.
I'm going to give you absolutely a point for your genres because, as you can see, I've put 1, 2, 3, 4 there, so I couldn't figure out what it was either. So I'm going to give you a point.
That's
I think
kind of you.
Mainly for art rock, I think.
Thank you.
I had Indie-tronica. Emo because, I mean, amazing to suss out the emo-ness of it. That's really good because I think primarily Your Arms Are My Cocoon emo music.
Oh, cool.
Post-rock, bedroom pop as well. It's got that fuzz that sounds like it was made in their bedroom. So, I don't know. I think there's probably some interesting personal stuff. I think it is one person, Your Arms Are My Cocoon. I think there's some interesting personal stuff there that I don't know enough about, so I'm not going to comment on it. But it might be the kind of thing that might be worth researching. I don't know. In fact, I'm going to open it up here. So, my opinion on Your Arms Are My Cocoon is difficult, because the most popular thing released by, here we go, we have Tyler Odom, who is the main person, is this EP released in 2020, self-titled Your Arms Are My Cocoon. And it's got this album art I'd seen quite a few times, and it's this sort of hand-painted sort of butterfly moth cradling a big heart kind of thing. And it captures a sort of, when you look at that, you know kind of what you're about to get into. It's going to be very homemade. There's going to be some sadness to it.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy that.
Interesting.
I just didn't enjoy it, because that wasn't, I wouldn't call that emo, I'd call it screamo.
Yeah. I've seen they often get called screamo. Yeah, not my thing either.
I just found it really abrasive, and for me, I just stop shouting. I might get more out of this. For me personally, I understand it's meant to represent passion and all of this and anger or whatever, but nah, not for me. But then you get this. I think their second full album release, I think, is Death of a Rabbit, and it's just so much more expansive.
Okay.
I mean, as I say, I put 4 different genres there. It's not just screamo. It's not just emo. There's so much more going on. And so that EP for me, which is the statement, puts Your Arms Are My Cocoon on a map for some people. You know, they find a lot of solace in the bitterness of this release and everything. I didn't connect with it at all, really. That would have been on my biggest disappointment thing for the 2025 recap. But then I went, there's got to be more than this. So I recognise the album art for Death of a Rabbit, so I go, let's give this a go. I found it much better. I really enjoyed it. And so I think there's a lot more, for me, there's a lot more worth revisiting on that album than there is the EP. But if you like screamo, if you like musicians that just go, I'm angry about something, let's talk about it, that's going to be for you. 1 point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them.
I think, again, it's sort of, we before had that band in the last game, Cry Touch, yes. I think similar sort of emo bedroom cult following artists. I'd compare those two. We are on to your number 4, which I did not know.
Okay.
Let me I'll deploy Chris tactics here and taunt myself by listening to it just before I say my answer and suddenly realising something.
That might be what actually happens, yeah. I do listen to them just before I play, just to remind myself of it, but I do think that there might be something in re-listening to it and you get new ideas, perhaps. And that's how I do myself in.
It's an expanded ensemble, and whenever I see expanded ensemble and it's a whiteboard game, I get scared, because at the moment I think, is he about to Beach Boys me and I'm going to embarrass myself? But it sounds too punchy for Beach Boys. That brass section doesn't strike me as Beach Boys at all. So I tried to add up some numbers of something that you definitely know of, don't know how much you've listened to, and what I think their sound could be. I've gone for Tally Hall.
Interesting.
And I've put Hold On. I think that might have been said, I'm not sure. I said 2010. I said power pop or rock opera, because what I know about Tally Hall is it's all quite dramatic
rock
and stuff.
Opera, yeah. I'd associate that. I haven't listened to Tally Hall beyond that Miracle, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hawaii Part 2 is the album. Yeah, so I don't really know what their sound would be. Amusingly, you're on the right lines with Beach Boys.
Really?
It is not. It's not the Beach Boys.
Okay.
It is a Beach Boy.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. You want me to guess which one?
Do you want to? It might. I don't know. Maybe it might.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
I was going to say that logically, if you know the Beach Boys and you know, in terms of songwriting, who would be better?
Yeah.
You would say Dennis, basically. No one comes near to Brian.
Thank you.
Not even anyone in normal music, even at all.
That's it. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
So, but I think upon listening deeper within the Beach Boys stuff, you get intrigued for some of their solo stuff because
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm listening to their album Surfs Up and going, man, Carl's songs on here are fantastic. Let's see his solo stuff. Oh, it's not very well regarded.
Well,
okay. Oh well. I like some of Dennis's stuff on Sunflower. Let's see. Oh, okay. He's got an album called Pacific Ocean Blue, which is what this is. I should actually say the name of the song. It's by Dennis Wilson. The song is called Time. I put art pop just because of the expanded ensemble.
Yeah.
1977. I think I'll do what you did for the first one for me, and I'll give you half a point for the genre.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah, he's got an album called Pacific Ocean Blue, which he released in the late 70s. And he was working on another one. I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it has a proper... it's not like a Western title. It might be a different word. It wasn't a word I recognised. Bamboo, but spelt with a U instead of two O's, basically. The version of Pacific Ocean Blue on Spotify actually has 2 discs on it. And the first disc is Pacific Ocean Blue, and the second one is Bamboo. But that's like an archival release. It's a bit like Smile Sessions, I suppose. So I think he had it basically done, and then he sadly passed away.
Yeah.
So as I say, for those that know the Beach Boys, you might know that I feel like Dennis was... I wouldn't say unrecognisably, sorry. But just not appreciated with as much sort of fair. Compositional merit.
I think that's fair.
Gave to the band. I feel like because, he's a drummer, you're going to assume that all they do is add drums. And I feel like for a good amount of the Beach Boys, that was it, I suppose. But, after like Friends, their album, where you first start getting Dennis's songs on there, he starts coming more into the fold, and you start getting a lot of great Dennis Wilson songs. I think the issue is that I think he was always one of the Beach Boys that was more troubled when it came to drug and alcohol use.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And so by the time Surf's Up came, you move on to Carl and the Passions, So Tough. He's not in the picture, basically. The other members have brought in different musicians to work with. They still use some of Dennis's songs, but he's not writing them with the Beach Boys. So it's clear that he's still being productive and wanting to make music. And it's from that he has a solo career. Not beyond an album and an archival release. But it's good, man. Honestly, this album is really good.
Cool, nice.
Yeah. Really underrated in terms of songwriting. I think it was really his songs on Sunflower that made me eager to listen to more of his stuff. At the same time, I was a bit like, he did also write Got to Know the Woman, though. So it could be hit or miss. But honestly, loads of these songs on here are great. And I think it really... I think it probably really reflects how influenced he was by Brian. Probably just how much... I mean, him and Carl probably looked up to him so much.
They were so close.
They were all incredibly close, yeah. It's very lovely. And so you sort of see, say in this, where the instrumentation gets... it's towards bombastic. It's not totally bombastic, but there's loads of horns. Very groovy. You'd expect, a drummer's songs to be groovy, and they absolutely are.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
But I think there's a lot of songs where he's incredibly close and sweet. I mean, again, this is the guy that wrote Forever. You know, we can expect a good amount of his songs to be very emotive and sweet and close, and there's a lot of that. And Time was one of my favorite tracks off the album, but again, I mainly used it because that outro is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So knowing that you love the Beach Boys, listen to this album.
I will.
I think you would get something out of it.
Absolutely, I will.
And everyone that is listening who does like the Beach Boys, I think it's worth delving into. Because I would probably say that outside of some of Brian's solo stuff, it is probably one of the most revered solo Beach Boys things to have come out. So there you go.
I will give that a go. Thank you. Another opportunity to say my very poor paraphrasing of a Brian Wilson quote where he said, "Oh, when I get to heaven, all I want to hear is Carl's voice," or something. So they were so close, which is lovely. Also, another opportunity for me to say, "Boy, I hate student demonstration time. Boy, I don't like that song."
Not that bad of a song, man. To be fair, I think I'm in the minority with that opinion, which is interesting, but. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Fred's Extract number 5. Here we go. Another classical one.
Another classical one, yes.
I do think I did want to include classical stuff. I just couldn't think of anything. So there are probably a lot of outros in classical music that I do really like. I just haven't used. Maybe we'll do a part 2 sometime.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, I'm up for it. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how many others I can think of. So. Another one where I really struggled to guess. Just realised I haven't put this composer's first names. I usually like to do that. Yeah, really hard to gauge. I couldn't tell. It felt very, I want to say late romantic again, and maybe it'll bite me in the foot. Quite nationalist in a way as well, I suppose. And when you say that, you think, okay, well, is it? It could either be Russian, British, or maybe it might be Aaron Copland. It might be American. And it's in trying to. I mean, I'm probably overthinking this so much, and I just shouldn't even try. I played it a bit more safe. Interesting, not really much of a nationalistic composer, so I don't even really know why I've put him now that I'm thinking about it. But oh well. Tchaikovsky. Is his first name's Pyotr Ilyich?
Pyotr Ilyich, I think.
Ilyich.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was his 1812 overture, but I've put that just because I remember playing it and enjoying it. Not with the cannons, of course, but it was a nice piece. Late Romantic Classical, 1885. I'm mentally preparing myself for what's about to happen.
Wipe away the distress of your disappointment with the Debussy answer. Wipe away the distress of your hat trick of almost getting the artists. It's 3 points, Chris.
Wow, what the hell?
It is Tchaikovsky.
Thank you.
The only thing you haven't got is the piece. I've put romantic, but I've put ballet. That's your hint. It's actually he's got 3 huge ballets, so it's not much of a hint, is it? It's 1877. So you're in. It's a rarity, increasing rarity in this game where we have to whip out the 10-year boundaries, which I think is a shame. I've spoken about it recently. That I don't want to abandon the classical side of me.
Absolutely.
And so I really wanted to get at least one classical in this extract, and I'm going to try really hard to keep getting classical stuff into the games from now on, because I really don't want to lose that part of myself. This is from Swan Lake.
Cool.
And it's the second. It's number 2, the second dance. It's a waltz, and it's one of the more iconic bits. Is your da 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 da. I remember being very proud of the marketing team for the Russia World Cup because they used this in their sort of advert breaks when they had done their interludes during halftime and stuff, and it was always a ballet dancer and you had the flags of the team that were playing, and then you had excerpts from Swan Lake going on. Not proud of Russia generally. I haven't really got much connection to Russia, but if I had, I'd be disappointed. But boy, do I love Tchaikovsky. I think, again, it's quite a basic, if you're familiar with sort of classical opinions or you're in classical music circles, it's a very basic opinion to hold, but I do agree with it that he might be the best melody writer in classical music history. No one crafts a melody like Tchaikovsky. They just don't.
Good take, I think.
Unfortunately, no one dies like Tchaikovsky either, bless him. Choked on hot water.
He did, yes.
Which is a shame. And he must have had quite a difficult life because he was a gay man in difficult Russian period.
Very good, very homosexual man.
Here outside...
I'm at Queen's house. Home of Freddie Mercury.
Home of Tchaikovsky. Yeah, look, Swan Lake, I'm always going to be a Nutcracker guy. I mean the ballet, not like favourite activities to engage in. But the music of the Nutcracker is obviously unbelievable. Again, very basic opinion to hold, but sometimes basic is correct for a reason, right? But Swan Lake is also a gem. And Tchaikovsky, as I've said, no one crafts a melody like Tchaikovsky. I think it's a shame that Mendelssohn is also a romantic composer because he's always going to be my GOAT romantic composer, probably. Okay. But actually, no, I don't even want to say that. That's such a horrible thing to say because it makes it sound like I don't want to rank these guys. Tchaikovsky is fantastic. And again, basic opinion, because everyone knows Tchaikovsky, but he is one of the GOATs.
The reason why the popular stuff is the best.
This is what I'm saying, man. Look, fantastic musician, fantastic composer. Feels very weird because I'm talking like I'm mentioning some really underground indie act and go like, you've got to listen to these guys. But it's Tchaikovsky. It's like, give it a go. You don't have to go see the ballet. I personally don't really get ballet. Just listen to the music. It's great. 3 points.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Glad to have turned it around a little bit.
Really well, actually. I wouldn't worry too much. Sorry. I think that the second half of this is going to be a collapse from me when we get to it, but we'll see. Before we get there, we have Chris's number 5, which I didn't really recognise. I just tried to logic it. I tried to combine Chris logic and general music logic. And the guitar work sounded jangly. So I said the Smiths. I said Back to the Old House. I think that's one of their songs. Probably isn't that one. But I said 1987 jangle pop / gothic rock because it had that gothic fuzz to it, in my opinion. So
I see what you mean. 3 points.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
To be fair, I thought this was quite possibly one that you would know the actual song for.
My Smiths knowledge is getting increasingly rusty. I haven't revisited them in a long time.
It is not Back to the Old House, but that is such a lovely song. It is definitely one of my favourite... Well, this song that I've used, definitely one of my favourite Smith songs. It is off of Meat is Murder. Okay. It is That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore.
Oh, the 4-pointer was right there for me, man. It was so close. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, the Smiths, jangle pop. When in doubt, 1985. It's like halfway through Meat is Murder. It sort of separates the two halves of it, which is quite good. Do you know? I think there was a bit where I looked up online, iconic songs with good, I
back it.
Songs with iconic outros.
Some field research, yeah.
Nice. Not from like a point of there's a really good Black Sabbath one that I'm going to use because everyone knows that I love Black Sabbath. Yeah. I'm going to use them. From like a point of if someone says something really obvious and you're like, oh yeah, I love that band. I love that song, and it's a great outro. I'm going to use it, so I use them. I mean, I feel like I feel like you could probably position the song in lots of different ways in terms of what you think it means. I think it can be a song about growing out of old insensitive jokes. Yeah, perhaps of maturity. It can be a point of. Well, I think maybe the idea of insensitive jokes is the important one. It depends if it's an element of yourself maturing or just dealing with people who are maybe more insensitive. I guess. Probably the latter when we're considering Morrissey.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. He's never said anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
And the outro. Well, it's interesting because it's the chords for the chorus, and the way that the outro goes is it has two phases. The first phase, Morrissey swoons over it and he sings lines over it, and there's a second phase which is just the instrumental. And I like to think that, you know, in the recording sessions they've recorded it, and they're like, okay, that's all good. Johnny Marr lets Morrissey leave, and he goes, actually, I really want there to be a section where he's not singing over this, because I think my guitar work is so good. Yeah, please, can you stitch it onto the end? And they have done. Yeah, and you get what's happened there, you know. And I think it allows the listener to cogitate on what Johnny Marr has put into this track.
Which is often a lot.
Absolutely, so, and I think it deserves to be more it's appreciated a lot anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like it's in songs like this where it's almost trying to force you to appreciate it more, because it's taking Morrissey out of the equation in some ways, which I think Johnny Marr had to do at some points.
Increasingly a good thing nowadays, I'm afraid. So,
but yeah, great outro, super... quite psychedelic, which I feel like they definitely had their psychedelic moment. Yeah. How soon is now, you know?
I am the sun.
So yeah, very cool. I'll always be influenced by the Smiths in some sort of way.
Musically, not personally.
Not opinion-wise.
No.
So there you go. I think 3 points for you.
Thank you very much.
Good first half by you as well.
Look, it's going to be a... who does well in first half? Who does well in first half but poor in second half? What's a football analogy for that? Arsenal versus
against
Wolves.
Yeah, that's the first one that I was thinking.
I am feeling very Saka-ish today. We're gonna get into the second half, and even though I'm gonna be sat down, I'm gonna start faking a limp just to just to emulate him a bit. I haven't got faith in my second half, but we'll see.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Well, I know for a fact that there are two of mine that as you listen to them, you grinned. So I think you've got two good answers coming, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not overly confident, but we don't have to think about that now.
No, not just yet.
We can think about having a nice break.
Yep.
You know, maybe you'll go and grab yourself a snack, get ready for the next part, or maybe you're listening to them on a journey, so you're going to save the next part for another long journey you're going to do and enjoy it. We look forward to you joining us again for that part.
Please do.
So in the meantime, ciao for now.
Tschüss.
See you later.
Bye.